Hello everyone, my name is Shruti Koshta. I'm from section G, roll number 2501533. I will be discussing about the Indian economy's responses to the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the most severe economic disruptions in the modern history. When COVID-19 hit in early 2020, India imposed a nationwide lockdown in March. This brought economic activity almost to a complete halt. Industries were shut down, transportation stopped, and millions of migrant workers were forced to return to their hometowns. As a result, India's GDP contracted by 24.4% in the first quarter of financial year 2020-21, marking the steepest decline in India's independent history. This shock impacted both supply as well as the demand simultaneously, making it a unique and complex economic crisis. The impact was widespread across sectors. Key industries like manufacturing, construction, trade, hotels, and transport were among the worst affected ones. At the same time, private consumption, which contributes nearly 55 to 60% of India's GDP, declined sharply due to income uncertainty and mobility restriction. This dual shock deepened the recession and highlighted vulnerabilities, especially in India's informal sector. To address these crises, the Government of India launched the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan in May 2020. The total package announced was approximately 20 lakh crores, nearly 10% of India's GDP. However, it is important to note that the actual direct fiscal spending was around 2 to 2.5%, while the rest consisted of credit support, liquidity measures, and reforms. A major focus was on the MSME sector, which contributes about 30% to GDP and employs over 11 crore people. The government introduced collateral free automatic loans worth 3 lakh crore rupees to ensure business continuity. Additionally, structural reforms like revised MSME definitions and equity infusions were introduced to improve long term competitiveness. Another crucial component was social welfare support. Under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, free food grains were provided to nearly 80 crore people, along with direct cash transfers to vulnerable groups. This played a vital role in preventing extreme poverty and ensuring food security during the crisis. On the monetary front, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, took aggressive steps to stabilize the economy. The repo rate was reduced from 5.15% to 4%, making borrowing cheaper and encouraging investment. The RBI also introduced innovative tools like targeted long-term repo operations to ensure credit flow to stressed sectors. Additionally, a 6-month loan was provided, followed by a restructuring framework for stressed assets. These measures help maintain liquidity, prevent a financial crisis, and protect the banking system from a surge in NPS. As the economy gradually reopened, signs of recovery began to appear. India experienced what economists call a V-shaped recovery. After the sharp contraction, GDP growth turned positive with 0.5% in quarter 3 and 1.6% in quarter 4 of financial year 2020-21. High frequency indicators like GST collection, power consumption, and e-way bills showed consistent improvement. The agriculture sector remained resilient, growing at around 3 to 4%, supported by a good monsoon. At the same time, the digital economy expanded rapidly, with increased adoption of digital payments, e-commerce, and remote working. Despite the recovery, the pandemic exposed several structural weaknesses. The informal sector, employing nearly 80 to 90% of the workforce, was severely affected due to lack of social security. Unemployment surged and income inequality widened significantly. Additionally, India's cautious fiscal approach meant that demand recovery was slower compared to countries that adopted large direct stimulus measures. In conclusion, India's response to COVID-19 reflects a balanced approach combining immediate relief with long-term reforms. While targeted welfare schemes and monetary support prevented a deeper crisis, the focus on self-reliance, digitalization, and structural reforms has positioned India for sustainable growth in the post pandemic era. The pandemic ultimately highlighted the need for stronger healthcare system, social safety nets, and economic resilience for the future. Thank you for watching.